Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks bringing you your daily Tesla report for Monday, July 28th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. Start with the big picture. This is worth noting. The low to mid 350s remain our ceiling of resistance through August and even into the fourth quarter. We could, if tested, top out here again on a monthly basis and perhaps fall away to longer term support that we also find on this chart that is presently at 252.87. And so if we were to push back up into the low to mid 350s, this structure would change a bit. It would become less steep, more horizontal, but it would be kind of the big picture possibility if you're looking at like a 2 to 3 month time frame. If we were in the coming weeks to close above 356.95, this channel structure, then we would have a longer term buy signal that I would anticipate yielding 519.27 within probably a half a year or so is what I would guess. I mean, the last time we came close to doing this was in 3 to 5 weeks, and I don't see that happening. This was on the heels, this rally of the election and pre-inauguration, Musk-Trump feud that actually added to the sell signal as we collapsed into April. So the low to mid 350s, our price ceiling, and what is presently in the lower 250s, our price floor. If we were to close below 252.87 over the next month or two, and I don't have this as an objective, I'll get to that in a moment, then I would see within 2 to 3 months falling back to significant long-term support as far as Tesla is concerned in the 162.68 to 168.78 area. This 5-year channel bottom well suited to contain selling through all of 26, and from here we can recover nicely if tested. But I don't expect it unless we close below 252.87. And I don't expect 252.87 or its variation on the daily chart at 250.96 unless we actually close below 273.73. I mean, sometimes you can swing for the fences. You can look at the big picture, and I did just outline that, which is to say that if we did push up into the low to mid 350s again, then this variation, this long-term support at 250.96, which would have a softer angle, would be a tradable sell opportunity. You could sell the low to mid 350s, 2 to 3 month near-term investors, swing traders, anticipating then the 250s, low 250s, upper 250s, whatever the case may be at that time. If we're pushing into the low to mid 350s, you might reach for 255, 250, strike out of the money puts that don't expire for at least, I'd go 6 months out on the expiration on a 2 to 3 month move. So that is all big picture. Let's get to the day itself, and that is, we've got this channel bottom at 333.62 that we gapped below last Thursday on poor earnings. We had a nice recovery on Friday. There is a trend line off the extreme lows that today is at 307.80, and we've been mentioning how a settlement below this trend line should result in bearish continuation. I'll get to that in a second, but without the settlement below it, and we pretty much settled right at it on Thursday, so there was no sell signal, and we obviously opened above it on Friday and continued higher. We have minor points that have been carefully established, but it really is a 307.80 floor of support for day traders. And yeah, I think 3 to 5 day swing traders can have a go here. But as I've been saying, I think the susceptibility is still to the downside following this gap lower, collapse, settlement below this 2-week channel bottom. So as long as we are continuing to hold this, I wouldn't be surprised, hold below 330.62 to fall back to 307.80. I do think over the next several weeks, we could see this 273.73 channel bottom. But acting on that, I think you either wait for a test of 333.62, which could happen today. You sell on strength at 333.62, or you sell on weakness below 307.80. So if we close today below 307.80, I would expect within a week, 2 at the most, probably by the end of next week, this 273.73 descending channel bottom, which we have as a weekly support level, able to contain weekly lows. We could round up from here for a 2 to 3 on a 2 to 3 week basis as well. So these are the tradable points. If I were to find the day and the next 3 to 5 days, it is stable above 307.80, allowing for 333.62 potentially today, where we could top out for the week and fall back again fall back to 307.80 or lower. Once again, holding below 333.62. I don't know if I would use the word anticipate. It's not like I expect 273.73, but I do think you can factor it into your calculations that the risk remains to the downside. Below 333.62 and closing below 307.80, we should then see, this 273.73 level within.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
And a full week, 2 at the most. For those of you who are longer term position traders and you're just kind of looking to bottom pick a Tesla on lower prices, I think you can begin that at 273.73. If you scale into long positions, if that's something you're comfortable doing, if it's part of your trade execution strategy, you could scale into a long position by bottom picking 273.73, because even if we close below it, we're only expecting 250.96 where you can buy more. And so you can average out in the 260s in this area for an upward rotation perhaps back into the 350s within several months. But once again, closing below 250.96 in the weeks ahead, or this 250.287 channel bottom in the weeks ahead, would signal a meaningful losses into the low to upper 160s by the end of the year, within probably 2 to 3 months. Let's go back to the upside, that if we happen to rally and close above 333.62, I expect then a retest of the low to mid 350s. We do have, and I don't have it labeled anywhere or shown on this chart, but I will actually try to do it so here, that if you take a trend line off these 2 lows and then project a parallel line against this high, in other words, a channel top, that comes in at 343.13 today and climbing. It will be in the upper 340s to low 350s over the next 3 to 5 days. So that is part of the equation. But really what we have is, once again, 333.62, sellable resistance. I don't know if we'll see it today or this week, but below which I do think the market remains kind of softly on its heels. 273.73 would not surprise me in the least over the next 2 to 3 days, and I would actually expect it within 1 to 2 weeks of closing below the 307.80 simple trend line. Until then, holding above 307.80 will keep the low 330s and climbing in reach over the next few days. I think that pretty much rounds it out. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. We offer 2 stock picks a week. We did 2 last week. Riot Platforms and Lindy PLC. We'll do 2 more this week. You'll get daily Triple Q, daily SPY analysis, and our weekly Apple stock analysis, our weekly S&P 500 index and NASDAQ 100 index analysis. You'll get all of that for free for 5 days by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of that 5-day free trial. I will, of course, be back tomorrow with Tuesday's Tesla. You have a great day.